I've probably hired well over 1,000 people in my career in the world of restaurants and now in Kreatures of Habit. Well over 1,000. And I've probably fired, personally, hundreds of people. But I would put my money on, if I had to go back to every single person that I've personally had to fire and ask them to come back and work with me, close to 100% of them would do it. Why?
An entrepreneur straight out of New York City, Michael Chernow. What's cracking?
What up, everybody? Today is a Monday moment. This will be a 10 to 15, maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter, 10 to 15 minute long episode, solo episode of me sharing things that I have been interested in, things that I have learned, experiences, some stories. And today's episode, I want to talk to you about the things that I've learned or that I am learning about being a CEO and founder. I actually have a list here that I'm probably going to glance at every now and again because I wrote these things down because I think it's really actually important for me to hear me say them. But I think for anybody who is currently a CEO founder or a CEO or aspiring to be one, these are some lessons that I have learned over the last decade plus about what it means to be a strong founder, a strong CEO. And I think that they will be interesting for you to hear. So, to kick it off, something that is hard, though I have learned as a leader of a business, is especially in the world, well, it actually kind of is in any business. But I'm currently, the founder and CEO of Kreatures of Habit, and in the world of digital brand, digital business, this was a lesson that I had to learn. I had no choice. I had to learn this because, well, I'll get right to it. Don't try to fix something that is not working as soon as you launch it. So if you launch something that you are very passionate about, that you think has strong potential, if you launch it and it doesn't work right away, don't immediately try to fix it. As an operator, which I have been for a long time, I'm probably not the greatest operator on the planet, but I have had to be an operator for many years, especially in the world of restaurants and now in Kreatures of Habit. You want to fix problems. My sort of role has been to come up with an idea, launch it out into the world, see what happens, and then ultimately fix the problems that come along with launching something new. I have gotten so much more patient at giving things time because early on in my career, I would come up with an idea, put it out there. If it didn't work, immediately pull it or try to fix it right away. And what I've learned over the years is that is not always the right solution. You have to give things time and you have to have confidence in your decision immediately. Now, I'm not saying beat a bad, continue to beat something until, you lose your ass, but I am saying that you have to give things time. And that lesson I've learned through surrounding myself with really, really great people, because I can't help the urge to want to stop something immediately if I don't see success. As a leader, I have learned to have patience and to give things ample time to either take shape or show that they are not working. That's been a big one for me. And when you try to fix things right out the gate, when you make changes immediately, you actually don't give the idea an opportunity to develop, to flourish, and to see where it gets traction. So give things time. Don't run to fix things if they don't work right away. It's been helpful for me. Don't be the point of contact for your vendors. If you have a team of people around you, you as the owner and the founder, the CEO of the company, you should not be the point of contact because you are busy building your business. And if vendors need to get something done, but you're out there working on scaling the business or evolving the business, having vendors reaching out to you personally are going to draw and drag down your ability to do other things that should not require your attention. I mean, to do other things that are more important than managing a question from a vendor. So don't make yourself the point person at the company to these vendors. I think being involved in the relationship, kicking off the relationship, but you being the point person will, I promise you, be a bottleneck in your business. I've seen it happen over and over again, and I've been guilty of this. So really try to delegate POC, which is point of contacts, within your organization so that you don't get bogged down by vendor emails that are waiting for you to respond to. It's 1:11. I'm closing my eyes because I make the exact same wish every single time I see 1:11 or 11:11. I've been doing that for a long time. Don't join every single meeting. So this is another thing that I had to get used to. Me being on every single meeting could very easily derail meetings. Not only does it clog my schedule up, I try to have as clear a schedule as possible. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but if my schedule is clogged every single day with meetings in every single department of the business, it gives me very, very little time to think about how we're going to grow and get things done. So meetings are important. I like to have fewer meetings, and especially me as the founder of the company, I should not feel it necessary to be participating in every single meeting or even half of the meetings. If you have a strong team of people around you that are conducting well, then have a meeting with that person once a week to get caught up, or have that person write you an end of day or an end of week recap email. You being on all those meetings tends to make it more difficult for the people that are actually at the helm of those departments than necessary, because most of the people that are on a meeting when the founder is there will honestly think of the founder as the person that needs to hear the information and then ultimately look to the founder to make the decisions. If you're doing it right and you've surrounded yourself with the right people to lead a specific department, whether it's marketing, operations, finance, supply chain, whatever it is, you want those people to make those decisions. You want to empower those people to make those decisions. And when your presence is there, whoever else is on that meeting is going to just kind of subconsciously think that you are the one that is going to make those decisions, and then they will potentially disregard the actual people that you've put in place to make the decisions. So don't be on every single meeting. It's not necessary. You should be focusing your time on thinking about how the company is going to grow. Speak last. This is another hard one. Speak last, or potentially don't say anything at all. I've also had to check myself and get checked by other people in this arena. I have found so much more progress and productivity at the companies that I've launched when I am observing and not needing to hear my own voice. So obviously, if there's something that I am incredibly passionate about, I will make my voice heard. But most of the time, I observe and I allow the people that are on the ground, boots on the ground, operating, do most of the talking. I'll tell you a quick story. I remember when I was in my early 30s and the meatball shop was kicking ass and we had a big board meeting. And one of the guys that I brought in to buy some equity and to help us scale Meatball Shop was a legend in the world of restaurants and probably 25, 30 years older than me. Founded one of the most iconic American restaurant chains in the world. And we were in this meeting, and after the meeting, this guy took me aside and said, "Hey, can I take you out for a cup of coffee?" And I said, "Sure." And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh man, he's going to take me out for a coffee. He's going to tell me how awesome I am, how proud he is, and da-da-da-da. And we sat down for that cup of coffee, and he looked at me and he said, "Can I be frank with you?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." He said, "Do me a favor. In the next board meeting, shut your fucking mouth. Don't say a word." And like, I went white as a ghost. And he's like, "You feel the need to hear your own voice way too much. And almost every time you open your mouth, you put your foot in it. You'd be far more successful if you listened." And honestly, that was a hard lesson to learn, but my God, was that some of the greatest advice that I've ever been given. So as an emerging or up and coming or young entrepreneur, we feel the need to hear our own voice. We feel the need to get our opinions out there. You have so much opportunity to do that offline, to do that after a meeting, to listen to what other people are saying, because you're going to learn so much more from listening to what other people are saying than hearing your own voice. You already know what you're thinking. You learn from others. So for me, speaking last has been a powerful component of my entrepreneurial journey. Not everybody is going to like you. Not everyone is going to like you. And that's, for me, as a people person, as a people pleaser for a lot of my life, I've been so successful with getting people to like me. I want people to like me. And now as I'm growing, into my career, which I believe is still so young. I mean, I've got so much career ahead of me, 40, 50 years ahead of me of career. I'm getting more comfortable with this idea that not everybody is going to like me, and that's okay. It's just simply okay. I don't think I need to be friends with everybody. And I never thought I needed to be friends with everybody, but I did think that getting people to like me was a big part of the picture. And it just doesn't have to be. So I'm not saying be an asshole or be difficult. I am saying don't sacrifice other people liking you for what needs to get done and what needs to happen. It's okay if not everybody in the room doesn't like you. And that's become important for me to know as a founder and a CEO. It comes a lot easier to some people, but for people like me who are real relationships people, I'm like a real relationship, emotionally intelligent entrepreneur, that was a hard lesson to learn. That was a hard one for me to swallow. If I had to boil down what a great CEO is, it's not about what you do every single day operationally. It is actually about, and it's also not about having the answer to every single question that's asked, but a great CEO will get all questions answered. There's a big difference between you personally as a CEO having all of the answers to all the questions and being great at getting all the questions answered. So I might not know everything. I definitely don't know everything. But what I could say I've been really, really good at is figuring out how to get the questions answered. I ask for a lot of help, and I surround myself with a lot of people that are good at answering the questions that I just don't know. And I'm not uncomfortable going to those people to get the questions answered. So great CEOs don't know all the answers, but they figure them out. And I think that is a good sign if you're one of those people that will do whatever it takes to make sure that those questions get answered. And it might take a little bit of time, but There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to find out though. That I guarantee you. And then lastly, I think something to really be mindful of is relationships. What I have been very, very good at over the course of my career and just in my life is relationship development. I would argue to say that is probably my strongest skill set, relationship development. I go beyond, above and beyond to develop relationships. It is in my DNA. I am a relationships person. I have probably hired well over 1,000 people in my career in the world of restaurants and now in Kreatures of Habit. Well over 1,000. And I've probably fired, personally, hundreds of people. But I would put my money on, if I had to go back to every single person that I've personally had to fire and ask them to come back and work with me, close to 100% of them would do it. Why? Because I believe in relationships. I have learned how to deliver bad news in such a way that does not burn a bridge. Burning bridges is going to tarnish your reputation. Your reputation in business tends to be the most important thing. Building relationships that are long-term make doing business a lot easier and a lot more successful. Those are some of the lessons that I've learned as a young CEO and founder. And I hope that whether you're a CEO founder or not, I hope that some of these tactics and lessons that I've just talked about could help you just in life in general, because some of this stuff is like real common sense stuff that when applied really make a massive difference. Share this podcast with a friend or family. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great week, great day. Until the next one, y'all. Peace.